What's up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. In today's video we're taking a look at one of the most underrated shotguns. When anyone talks about this weapon, it's considered an absolute joke, and in this video today I'm going to show you how this isn't the case and how this is one of the best PvE shotguns inside Destiny 2. Now if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now each and every season we often get sandbox passes and updates to the game that change perks on particular weapons and certain archetypes of weapons inside Destiny 2. Alongside that we also get a seasonal artifact each and every year, and this changes up the meta in both PvE and PvP by bringing underused weapons to the forefront, making us try different weapons that we wouldn't otherwise normally use. Now with the launch of Season 15 and the 30th anniversary pack, we got some changes and buffs to certain perks, which has made me reconsider some of the weapons that have been hiding away in my vault. So much so, one of the weapons that I've pretty much never used up until now has been gathering dust since it was introduced. Now if you can get the right roll on this weapon, you have the opportunity to have infinite ammo with no need to reload, alongside extremely fast supers, and you'll be able to get your super back in little under 30 seconds. It's the ultimate ad clearing weapon, and I guarantee you haven't been using it this entire season. Now the weapon we're taking a look at in the video today is the Comedian, and this can also drop as an adept version. Now the Comedian is an aggressive frame shotgun, so it's hard hitting, it has high recoil, and it also increases its rate of fire after a kill. Now the Comedian is a special weapon that was introduced in Season 15 and deals void damage. Now with some of the changes to the sandbox, this has influenced this weapon massively and has gone under the radar in the current season. Now one of those buffs comes in the form of Subsistence, which no longer reduces the ammo reserves on this weapon. Now one of the issues with Subsistence when it was introduced was the fact that your reserves were reduced so much that we'd always run out of ammo. That is no longer the case with the new buff on Subsistence in Season 15 and has a considerable impact on the Comedian shotgun itself. Another change we saw this season was to Adrenaline Junkie. Now this is where kills can add single damage stacks or extend existing ones, and grenade kills boost the stacks immediately to ×5. They've also lowered the duration to compensate for the weapon activation as well. Adrenaline Junkie is an incredibly strong perk and is one of many perks available on the Comedian shotgun. And a third perk which has seen some changes this season is Vorpal Weapon. Now this used to be a flat 15% buff across the board, but it now varies depending on whether you have a primary, special or heavy weapon. Now if you can get Vorpal Weapon on the Comedian, this will be an increase of 15% to any damage dealt against bosses, vehicles and any guardians with their super active. So that's just some of the changes to 3 of the perks available on the Comedian, but what are the other perks available on this shotgun? Well, it can roll with 6 perks in the 3rd and 4th column. In the 3rd column you have a choice between Subsistence, Hipfire Grip, Ensemble, Bottomless Grief, Dead from Gold and Genesis. And in the 4th column you can choose from One for All, Unrelenting, Vorpal Weapon, Adrenaline Junkie, Trench Barrel and Thresh. Now if you're looking to achieve infinite ammo and fast supers, then you'll need to get the role that we have in this video today. This one has Subsistence, where defeating targets partially reloads the magazine from reserves, alongside Thresh, where killing combatants with the weapon generates a small amount of super energy. Massive shout out to my friend Duddits for this weapon and some of the footage you see throughout this video. He also makes build videos for Destiny 2, so if you haven't checked him out, be sure to do so, and I'll leave the link to his YouTube channel down in the video description below. So that's what the weapon is and the sort of role you should be seeking out, but how are you getting your hands on the Comedian shotgun? Well, the Comedian is available this week as part of the Nightfall and Grandmaster Nightfall in Season 15. The Nightfall exclusive loot rotates on a weekly basis, with this week being the Comedian and the Shadow Price Auto Rifle. Now if you can complete the Nightfall on the regular difficulty, you'll have a chance to get a normal version of the Comedian. However, if you can complete it on Grandmaster difficulty, then you'll get access to the exclusive Adept versions of those weapons. The Adept versions have a unique aesthetic, as well as having the ability to equip Adept mods, which can help increase its damage further or even increase its ammo reserves. Now from here we're going to take a look at an awesome build that allows you to achieve super fast supers as well as unlimited ammo. Now this build can be achieved on any class in the game, but it works super effectively on the Void Walker. Now it's with that in mind, we're going to be running the Attunement of Hunger, which is bottom tree Void Walker, and this is going to allow us to get the Devour perk. This is where kills with your melee ability fully regenerate your health, and for a short time afterwards kills restore additional health as well. By consuming your grenade and getting kills with your weapon, it allows you to stay pretty much at full health most of the time. It's perfect if you find yourself surrounded by lots of combatants, which is going to be the case if we're taking out lots of ads with a Comedian shotgun. Now, as for the mods that you require on your armor, these can be applied to any piece of armor, with the only limitations being their elemental affinity. So don't worry about having to equip them on a particular gauntlet, helmet, or class item. You have free reign on the actual armor piece. You just need an elemental affinity to match. Now, one of the perks here is called Heavy-Handed. Now, this is where you're charged with light. You regain half of your melee energy when you used a charged melee ability, consuming 1 stack of charge with light. We're not specifically using it for that perk, but we're using it for the lock and load, which is the secondary perk on this mod. Now, this is where you're surrounded by multiple combatants. Defeating a combatant with fusion rifles, shotguns, sidearms, or submachine guns will add ammo for that weapon to the reserves. Now, this is a secondary perk, so that is active with at least one other arc mod that is either socketed into this armor piece, or at least one other arc charged with light mod which is socketed into another piece of armor that you're wearing. Now, alongside Heavy-Handed and Lock and Load, we also have Taking Charge. This is where you become charged with light by simply picking up an Orb of Power. With a masterworked weapon like the Comedian, you'll be generating lots of Orbs of Power, essentially allowing you to be charged with light the entire time. To make sure we can make the most of those stacks, we've also added Charged Up onto our chest piece. This allows for 1 additional stack of Charge with Light. And when you pair that with something like Supercharge, which we've got on our gauntlets, this will allow you to have 2 additional stacks of Charge with Light, up to a maximum of 5 stacks. Now, to make the most of those stacks with Charge with Light, we're going to be equipping Energy Converter. Now, this is where your Charge with Light using your grenade attack grants you super energy, consuming all your stacks of Charge with Light. The more stacks you have, the more energy you gain, up to a maximum of 50% of your super energy. Now, there is a stat penalty of -10 to Discipline, but when you consider that at 5 stacks with Charge with Light, you'll be getting half your super, that is a worthy trade-off for this particular build. And to elevate this even further and make the most of the Comedian shotgun with those mods, we have equipped Mantle of Battle Harmony. Now, this is where takedowns with the weapon that have a damage type matching your subclass element will grant you super energy. While your super energy is full, you'll instead gain temporary bonus weapon damage to a type matching your subclass element. Now, the key things to note here is the weapon we're using has Thresh, which is also giving us super energy. Weapon itself is Void, which is also the same as our subclass, which means we'll also be getting super energy from the Mantle of Battle Harmony. And further still, once our super energy is full, we'll be getting increased weapon damage to any weapon matching our subclass type. And as we just said, we are running Void with a Void weapon, meaning that the Comedian will be dealing even more damage. Now, the key part to this build is the 30-second gameplay loop, which helps you get your super, use your super, and then farm super energy as quickly as possible. A great example of this, if we have a look at this clip from Duddits, he activates his super, throws his Void grenade, which gives him almost half of his super back. Now you can go on an absolute tear with your Comedian, and with Subsistence and Fresh, working with Locked and Load. Lock and Load will keep you loaded, and with Subsistence will pull that ammo from your reserves and pull it into the magazine, meaning that you don't have to reload at all. Each kill will be giving you super energy, alongside the additional super energy from Mantle of Battle Harmony and Thresh, and as long as you can keep that tear going, you'll get your super back in little under 30 seconds. It's incredibly strong in easy to medium end content, and if you can run an entire build with Subsistence and Fresh, then you'll never have to reload and ever worry about your super out in those activities. It's extremely fun to use, and in my opinion makes the Comedian a very good PvE shotgun. So if you haven't got your hands on a good Comedian just yet, specifically with the role and build that we've covered in this video, this week is your opportunity when jumping into the Nightfall this week. So there we have it, guys, a good look at the Comedian shotgun, what I personally believe to be one of the most underrated weapons inside Destiny 2. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, make sure to subscribe as well. I want to jump back into the game as always, guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.